Hey, what's up guys and welcome to DW's Academy. My name is Onuoha UI. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create an ad creative that you can use for your footwear business when running ads on Instagram. If you're finding this difficult, this is the right video for you to watch. So without any further ado, let's get into Canva and get started. So hey, we're right in Canva and you can do the same. Open up your Canva. I'm using the Canva desktop app right here. And to get a new page, if you don't know how we got here, you can just go over to create a design and you can just type in square posts right here. But in this case, you want to choose custom size. And right here, you're going to put in this value, 3,200 by 3,200. This should give you a very great size should you be using a free account. So you wouldn't have problems resizing. But if you want to test out Canva Pro for free, there is a link in the description for you to do so. So here I have my document created and ready to do this. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment when you can. Now, what I did was to go ahead and create a couple of things that I would most likely be using in this design. The first part here, you can see that we've got our colors. Okay, we've got our colors. And the next one here, you see we have our font, or let's call them typography. Okay, we have our typography right there. And the other thing you see, we've got our icons. And then lastly, we have this one here that is our images. I thought that we're going to be needing this while working on this design. So I went ahead to just create this so it'll be easier for us to use this. I'm just going to boost this up a little bit so we can see exactly what we're doing right here. Maybe just leave it the same way it is. Okay, now we've got the colors here. We've got typography over here. We've got our icons right here. And then we have the images that we are going to be using. Remember that I said this particular dimension you're using here for this document size will have to be 3,200 by 3,200. And this is so you do not limit yourself when you are creating your own design using a free account. That will maintain the ratio when you are downloading that particular design. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a new page. And for this new page, let's just call it our design. And one thing we want to do here is let's put a background, and we already have series of colors created. I'm going to go over to the color picker here. It's not a color picker actually, it's just what allows you to pick the colors here. And what I'm going to select right here is one of these colors here. So we could use this for the background. We can use this or maybe this one. I think this is better. So we can actually use this for the background. Let's see if we can add a little bit of gradient to it. Yeah, so it's got that gradient there. So we can, let's say maybe add another one. And we could drag this one here because you can actually drag them. So you can see how we've got the lighter part of it. It's like separated by another round one here. Let me show you what that looks like. So you can see what we have right there. But that's not what we want. So we're going to go ahead and... Okay, so we're going to just put it this way. So we select this particular one. It just got a gradient here, and the first color here is this is a hex code that we're using. We've got the other hex code right here. Now notice that they are similar, just quite different. And one thing with this gradient is you can actually reduce the transparency. You can see that over there on your design. You can see the effects happening in real time on your design. So it's really a very nice feature. Now that we have our background defined, so this is the color that we are picking for our background. Okay, so that's the color for our background. I'm going to reduce that to say 10. All right, we've got that background. The next thing we want to do is, let me see, we might want to bring in an image. And in this case, I'm going to use this one. Yeah, I'll use this one. And we will put it here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the power of Canva Pro, and that is the Canva magic. And what I'm going to do right here is click on this and go to edit image. and I'm going to be using the magic grab. I love to use the magic grab. Now I'm going to select brush and brush size, or maybe click. No, I'm going to select the brush size, and then I'm going to just select the entire photo like so. Sometimes you would get the option to select everything, but in this case, there's a lot to pick, so I just want to pick it like this. Now that we have that, I'm just going to click on grab and wait for the magic to happen. Now that it's done, completely grabbed, we can delete the one behind. You can see what we have right here. And now that we have this, I want to just position it this way. Yeah, I just want to position it this way. Maybe move it back a little bit like so. This is great. The next thing I'm going to do, just to make this photo increase and better in quality, I'll go to edit image, and I'm going to go to adjust. Right here, I can select what I want to adjust. And here, one thing I want to do is I want to bring the brightness up a little bit. And let's just make it 10. And remember, most times when you increase brightness, you just want to touch the contrast also a little bit. I've got that. I've got a little bit of highlight around this place, and I want to just take this out. Okay, so you can see what we have right now. And also just want to take out some shadows. You can see the photo is becoming even more interesting, and I want to increase the vibrance. Okay, and then a little bit of saturation. Let's make saturation 15. That's awesome. And then we just put the sharpness to 10, and that's all. We didn't have to touch any other thing. This is okay. Now that you have this, you can see the before and after. So let me show you what the before looks like. Look at what the before is looking like, and look at what the after is. Much better. It's really interesting. Now that we have this, let's see what else we would like to put into our design. We have this image here, right here. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to define our font and where we would like to use our font. And where I would like to use this, we've got 3. So let me drag this 3 and bring them here. Remember that when you're creating your designs, it's very important to use a maximum of 3 fonts. You don't have to use more than that when you want to create your design, so you don't mess things up. Okay, now we have this. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding things. I think what I'm going to do here is I'll go over to my image, just select this one here. I'm going to add that around here. Remember, this is something you want to create for an ad, so you have to be very careful with your design choices. Now that we have that, I think I want to use that for a label, more like a toggle or a something that we could use to feature whatever is there. So I would just use that, and I would give it this particular color. The contrast, you can see the contrast between the background, the image, and this particular color right here is really interesting. And then I will select this ASAP condensed, and let's say we're going to call this maybe selling, and I'll also put it in the middle here like so. I'll select both of them like so, and go to position. I would say center. I change the color to white like this. Maybe instead of selling, I can just put sale. I think this is more of a marketing word, so I can just use sale and just reduce that a little bit. Okay, so here you can see that we've got this, and it's looking quite interesting. The next thing we want to do is, what other font can we use here? So let's say this, and I'm just going to copy this. We're going to call this Crux. Okay, so just going to call that Crux. Not sure what we are going to call that, but let's just give that as a placeholder right there. And let's see these. Okay, this is fine. I'm going to maintain the character spacing, but then I'm going to quite reduce this to match what I want it to be. So we're going to just drag this a little bit like this. Make sure it's in the center, and I will drag it around here. Okay, I want to add a little bit of the register thing. So I'm just going to say R, see if I can find something like that. Okay, so we've got one here. So I'm going to use this and just reduce that a little bit and put it somewhere here. And just increase that a little bit. Okay, so instead of saying crop, I'm just going to say flops. Okay, so it's better that way. And just increase this a little bit to this. Now that's looking interesting already. What we need to do, select both of them and group them. So I'm going to group them like so, grouped. Okay, so the design is getting into shape. Now you've seen how we've used two of these fonts, these two typefaces, and the design is coming up quite interesting. The next thing I would want to do will be adding a price to this. And to add a price, I think I'm going to use this ASAP condensed. And let's say we're just going to put this at $55. Not sure how that is. So we're just going to say 55.40.33 or 32. So it just look like, yeah, that's true. Okay, so we're going to use this, but also in the middle here, use this center alignment. That's what that is. And okay, let's use the right alignment. And maybe here, I think here will be good. And we can increase that a little bit. Say this size, this will be good. Awesome. So we've got that price over there. The next thing we want to do is we would come right here and select our Helios. Remember, font combination. If you want to see a video about font combination, just let me know in the comments. So I'll show you how to combine fonts that you can use for your design. So right here, I'm going to be writing a text. Let's say I'm going to be writing only for buyers. Okay, only, let me say only buyers. What's going on? Okay, only buyers from, let's just call it location. Only buyers from location will get free delivery. Yeah, maybe this will fly. Okay, so we can just put that there. And then we can just move that also to this part. We can drag that right here, and we can reduce that also. And we can just bring this here. I'm just going to reduce this again. Okay. Okay, so let's correct this. Only buyers from this location will get free delivery. So let's split this. I just want to be sure that this is getting interesting. Okay. I think this is fine this way. Just trying as much as possible to make sure that this is looking good. Now that we have this, I can select both of them and just lower it down a little bit, select both of them again, and make sure it's on that margin right there. So here, this is good. Okay, now we have this. I'm going to reduce that a little bit to say 13. Okay, that's great. Now, the next thing we want to do for this particular design is, let's see how we can add other things to it. And the next thing I want to do, okay, I think I have to use these icons right now. So let's get this icon, copy this icon. I'm going to bring it here. I'm going to make this icon white so it contrasts well on that. And maybe reduce that a little bit. Here's where I'm going to use this. And I'm going to call this base shoe, maybe. Okay, so call that base shoe and reduce that also a little bit. I've changed the color of that font, that text already, to white, so it will fit into that position. So just drag that here a little bit, and maintaining balance here. I want to be sure that this, you see that red line there? That's a good margin to put it. And I'll select this two again, I drag it up a little bit. Our design is coming into place. The next thing I want to do is I will get my QR code. And if you want to know how to use QR codes, I'm going to have a video for that as well. So make sure you do subscribe to the channel so you can get videos on how to create really interesting things like that. Okay, so I'm going to have this right here. Also going to change the color to this, but I need to space that a little bit. Okay. To just raise that up again, somewhere around this. This is good. And then I'm going to have another text right here that says, scan this code. Okay, so I'm going to put that color and change that color to white. So you have it here, says scan this code. And I'm going to just drag it here. That's a good place to put it. But it has to start from the beginning here up to this point. So you've got that there that says scan this code, and I'm going to select this again and just bring them to this area here. I'm going to increase that a little bit. And the next thing I want to do here, this design is coming together. Now I'm going to add a series of colors that we have for this shoe, because if you're selling shoes, most definitely there will be different colors for that particular shoe. And what I'm going to do is I'll use this here. This, I will, let me see how this is going to turn out. And then I'm going to make the corners rounded a little bit. And I would make the color for this one white. I'm going to add a line color, I guess, but reduce that to say 2, or maybe let's see if we can use 1.5. Okay, great. We can use 1.5, and then the body color will be none. The outline color will be set to white, and then I'm going to duplicate this again, and then I'm going to use this color. Okay, so I'm going to remove the outline right now, then use this color for this. And I'm going to just drag it in here. Then I would reduce the opacity to say 84. Or maybe reduce it again. Yeah, so this looks quite interesting. All right, now that we have this, I'm going to just, I'm going to drag one out here to represent the colors. But to do that, I have to change this to complete 105 by 105, and then I'm going to take away the opacity to 100, which is transparency in Canva, and I will start to put the together. Again. Okay, so I'm holding down Shift to do that, just to reduce that, and I will select it and bring it right here. So I want to have this colors here, so I'll select this one and this one. I would increase it a little bit. I'm going to drag duplicate again and duplicate again. Here you see we've got all of this available in these colors. All right, now this is great. Let me see the spacing between the top and the side, 16 and 19. So we have to move it to 16, move this also to 16. Then select 3 of them, go to position and say tidy up. Okay, now you can see that they all share the same space in between them. That's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and delete this, select these ones and this again, just bring them right here. Make sure it's 16 and 16. So that's awesome. Let's put the colors inside them. Select the first one. I choose to put a color, and the color I'm going to put will have to be this color, black. We also have this color in a kind of darker green. We have this color in beige. We have this color in green. We also have this material in, say, tan. And we have this material in white. Now, you can see that we can't see this color properly. So what we're going to do is just add an outline to it. And the outline will have to be 1. And the color for the outline will have to be maybe tan or just black. So that way we are representing that color properly. But to also, let's see what we can do for that outline color. So we can select both black, and we can actually reduce the transparency of that and select this one to be black as well. Also reduce the transparency to, say, 50. Okay, and we also put this one transparency to 50. So here we have unified the colors. Oh, this design is getting very interesting. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a button, maybe. And I'm just going to bring these ones down. Don't worry, we're going to get rid of them as soon as we're done. And to do that, I'm going to go over here and select this right here. I would say maybe we put a button here, or call to action somewhere around here, and just increase that a little bit. Let's bring it down and reduce it like so. And we're going to put a rounded corners around it like this. And let's increase that a little. Okay, so this is okay. So let's try to see if we can have that positioned in the middle. Okay, let's increase that a little bit. This is good. Okay, now that we have this, we're going to give it a color of white. And let's say transparency, we're going to give it transparency of 84. That's great. Now we are going to duplicate this. Control D or Command D will duplicate it. We're going to remove the fill color, and we're going to add an outline color. Say, we're going to add an outline color of, say, black. So let's choose outline color and say, let's just say black. Now I'm going to reduce this a little bit, say maybe 3. So you can see what we have here. Now I would put it, just lay it over this right here. You can see that. Let's reduce that again, maybe 2. No, I think this is better. Okay, now that we have this, I want to just do something else here. We have we have an icon we haven't used. Copy that icon. I will bring that icon right here. And then for this, I think I'm going to be using, let me see what font will work here. So I'm just going to put here, select this and just send it back again. Select this, and I'm going to just say now selling. Select all of it, make sure it's in the middle. Drag that down, remove it from bold. Okay, this is good. Now I'm also going to select this one, go to position, and I'm going to choose center and middle. Now for this icon, I'm also going to reduce the icon a little bit. Bring the icon closer to this. Maybe increase this a little bit. And here we can have our now selling icon. I don't think I like this text. Let's try another one. And here I'm going to select this Helios. No, I don't like that. Let's go back for what we have. This will be fine. And I'm just going to increase that. I think that's my problem. And I'll go back to spacing. I'm going to space the letter a little bit. And right here, I'll add one more space. That's it. And then select both of them this way. I would group them, select this, go to position, center and middle. Okay, now you can see we have our now selling. But let's see if we could reduce this a little bit, like this. Okay, now let's select this one also. we've reduced that. I'm going to ungroup this and I'm going to spread it out a little bit. Group again and go to position, center, and middle. Oops, that's not going to work. So select this and say it's in the middle. Now that we have this, what we're going to do is we're almost done. One more thing to do here is I'm going to select this. I'm going to select this outline color here and give it a gradient. Remember, I created a gradient here. So this is the gradient that I created. So I'm going to put that on this. So select that, go to gradient and place it there. So you can see how that effect is on this design and it's looking already pretty. We're going to go ahead and delete this and we're fine. Okay, there's an outline here. We need to remove that outline. Okay, great. So here you can see that we have used all of these elements to create this particular design that you can use for your ad on Instagram. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of shadow to this just to make the design pop a little bit. So I'm going to go here and search for shadow. And we're going to use something similar to this. Just a little. We're just going to reduce that and bring it right about here. Okay, we don't want it to cross the curved area so it doesn't look unrealistic. So this is going to be great. Let's increase it to see what we're missing. And let's fix it. Great. So here that we have this, we're going to go to transparency and reduce that a little bit. Now you can see that our button has got a depth right there, and that's how you go about creating this design. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. One way to support our channel is to like, comment, and share our videos. I'll see you guys in the next one.